If you guys don't watch my final order cutoff video, you guys might have missed it because the big thing happened last week. But if you guys look down at the subscriber count, you guys will notice we passed a pretty big milestone. We have passed 4,000 subscribers, which is super amazing, and it's all because of you guys. So a huge thank you needs to go out to you. Now, I'm not doing a big giveaway for 4,000 subscribers, but I am going to do one for 5,000 subscribers, and I hope to pass that milestone this year. It would be absolutely amazing if we can, and then it's onward to 10,000. All right, guys. Now, one more thing before we dive into today's video. If you guys have not joined the Discord, link down in the description below. It is a great community of people. We talk new comic book day stuff, final order cutoff day stuff, and just general comic book, just like, I don't know, chatter. It is so much fun, and so far, everyone who's joined it is amazing. So, guys, join this awesome community that I'm trying to build down in the description below. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back yet to another Wednesday pull list, which is your hype video for new comic book day. Guys, we're talking about all the books that are on my pull list that are coming out this Wednesday, which is March 6th of 2024. We got 15 books on the pull list. So let's not waste any more time, guys, because we got a lot to cover in today's video. So let's go ahead and check out my pull list. Now, I already told you guys how many books are on my pull list. There are a total of 15 comic books, but that's so small for you guys, especially if you guys are watching on a phone, or I almost said mobile phone. What is this, 1960? On a phone. So let me go ahead and throw them up on screen right now. Guys, there are 15 books on my pull list. Now, there are 2 new number ones, and guys, I read the previous issue to every single book that is not a new number one that is on screen right now. So every single one of these books could make the top 3 list. But guys, if we break down this list a little bit more, there are exactly an even amount of each book. There are 5 DC books, 5 Marvel books, and 5 independent titles. And that is it for this week, guys. 15 total books. All can make the top 3 list. There are no books on the chopping block. They were all pretty good reads. So let's go ahead and move right over to my cover lever picks. Now, before we dive into these cover lever picks, I want to apologize to you guys. If you guys watch my previews highlights video or my final order cutoff videos, you guys will have seen almost all of these covers before. So it will be a repeat for a lot of you because there are a lot of returning guests. But guys, I'm still going to go over these covers because I still love them so much. And I want to make sure anyone who is new to the channel or new to this video series knows how much I love these covers. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First up is Batman issue number 145. This is the cover D. It's the 1:25 ratio variant done by Matteo Scalera. This cover, it's so freaking good. Now, I am going to try to get myself a copy of this, but I have to wait till Friday to get paid. I'm a little short on my comic book fund, so I got to wait till Friday, which totally sucks because I might miss out on this cover, but that's okay because I'm only going to buy what I can afford, and this cover is just so good. Now, guys, next up is Ultimate X-Men issue number 1 with the Dyke Ruan cover. So good. Dyke Ruan. So good. Next up after that is Poison Ivy issue number 20 with the cover D variant, which is the Women's History Month variant done by Sozo Micah. All of Sozo Micah's Women's History Month variants are pretty freaking good, but this one right here is my favorite. I wish it was a foil, because some of those like really bright colors would look so good as a foil. Now guys, next up is Birds of Prey issue number 7 with the cover C done by Pablos Villalobos. Lobos, man. So good. Now guys, next up is the Spectacular Spider-Men. Not Spider-Man, Spider-Men issue number 1 with the variant cover done by Dyke Ruan. Guys, I just love his artwork, and this is so good. You got Miles, you got Spidey flying through the city on their, webs. It is just so good. Now guys, next up is the Sensational She-Hulk issue number 6 with the variant cover done by Ben Harvey. I've been talking about this cover ever since it was on previews. So good. Love Ben Harvey. Now guys, next up is the Sensational She-Hulk issue number 6. It's a mouthful. Sensational She-Hulk. But guys, this is the variant cover done by Nick Klein. I'm a big Nick Klein fan. I think this is absolutely awesome. You got her like charging through a wall, bricks flying. She's got this really intense face. So good. Now guys, next up is Blue Beetle issue number 7, the cover A, done by Adrian Gutierrez. So good. If you guys are not reading this book, A, you're missing out on an amazing freaking story. But one other thing that you're missing out on is the artwork done by Adrian Gutierrez. It is so good. And just look at this cover. Look at all the heroes on this cover. This is badass. This is so, so good. Now, guys, next up is Thanos issue number 4 with the Snap variant done by Jason Mason. This is so good. So good. It's just so cool. I absolutely love it. Next up is Giant Size Spider-Gwen issue number 1 with the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Betsy Cola. Again, I've been talking about this cover ever since I saw it. It is so, so cool. And this is another cover I'm hopefully going to try to score for myself on Friday when I get paid, because this cover is so gorgeous. And I think I'll be able to, because this book will probably be ordered pretty heavily. So I think my comic shop should have a copy of this on Friday. Fingers crossed. Now, guys, next up is Superman 78, The Metal Curtain, issue number 5 with the cover B variant done by Michael Walsh. Now, this is so cool because this looks so much like Christopher Reeves. He was the quintessential Superman, in my opinion. I grew up with him, and this cover is absolutely fantastic. It's not on my pull list right now. I'm probably going to pick it up when I go into a shop, because I'm sure I'm going to be able to find this in a shop, and this is just, it is so stinking cool. Now, the last cover that I want to show you guys is Red Light, issue number 3, the cover C variant, done by a name I'm not going to pronounce, but this is absolutely gorgeous. She is the interior artist on this cover, and this is just kind of like a risque movie poster, you could say. It is so good. And if you guys are not reading this book, definitely check it out. All right, guys, those are my cover lever picks for this week, which again is March 6th of 2024. Let's go ahead and move over to the new number 1s that I think you guys should be excited about. Now, before we check out these 2 number 1s, I just gotta ask you guys one quick favor. Guys, look down. Have you guys hit that like button just yet? If you haven't, do me a favor and smash that like button. It helps the channel out so, so much when you guys do that. All right, guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's check out these 2 new number 1s that I think you guys should be excited about. All right, guys, there are 2 new number 1s on my pull list, and we're going to talk about both of them in this section. And the reason why is because I'm not like over the top excited about either of them. Now, normally in this section, there is a new number 1 that I'm just like really pumped to get my hands on, because the story just sounds so freaking amazing. But both of these, yeah, I'm excited. So let's just talk about both, because I don't want to seem like I'm forcing you guys to get any of these, even though I really can't force you guys to do nothing. But sometimes when I get really excited, I'm sure some of you guys get excited and you pick up a book, and you know what? Make your own decisions on these books. So first up is The Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 1, from the writer of Greg Weisman and art by Humberto Ramos. Now, the big reason why I'm not like over the moon excited for this is because I don't know the writer, Greg Weisman. And when I checked out what he's done in the past, there was like nothing that like struck me as like, oh my god, he wrote that story. This book is gonna be so amazing. There was just a lot of books that were either I've never picked up before, or I've read before in the past and I didn't really love them all that much. So I'm not gonna like get myself too excited and then like just fall off and just chop this book in a few weeks. So I'm excited because we got Peter Parker, we got Miles Morales, and an ongoing, because this is an ongoing series. It's not like a 6-issue mini or a 4-issue mini, which Marvel loves to do right now. They have signed up to make this an ongoing with Peter and Miles together fighting crime, which is super cool. And we also have art by Humberto Ramos. Humberto Ramos is amazing in my opinion. He is such a great artist, and he does spider people so stinking well. So that is the big reason why I'm picking this book up, because it has art by Humberto Ramos and it is an ongoing series. So hopefully they're going to tell some really cool, really fun tales with these 2 guys. There are a bunch of variant covers, and none of them are really all that great, except for the Dyke Ruan cover, which I showed you guys during my cover lover picks. And there is a David Nakayama that's okay, and there is the 1 in 100 ratio variant, which is a virgin by Humberto Ramos, but that's just the cover A and it's a virgin. But why would you want to pay $100 and something when you can just pay the cover price, which is probably either $3.99 or $4.99 for this book? And since it's a Spider-Man book, I'm going to say it's probably $4.99. I'll put the correct price up on screen right now. But guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next book, and that is Ultimate X-Men issue number 1 from the writer and artist of Peach Momoko. Yeah, the reason why this book is on this list is because the buzz around the Ultimate Universe. I loved Ultimate Invasion and the whole build up to Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man was like so good. It was like so good. And I have not read Ultimate Black Panther. That's on the read list this week because issue number 2 comes out next week. You guys know how I do this. I read the previous issue to the books right before they come out. So I get a book in on the week that it comes in, and it sits in a box until the second issue comes out, and then the third, and then I read, you know, that's how I do it. So I've not read Ultimate Black Panther issue number 1 yet, so I don't know if that's any good, but I know people liked it. They didn't love it, but the Ultimate Universe has so much buzz around it. That's why this book is on this list, and I am excited for it. Peach Momoko is pretty good. I know some people have liked her like alternate universe stuff at Marvel Comics. It's set back in like feudal Japan or something. So you know what? Let's dive in. Hopefully it's going to be good, and hopefully it's just going to help that whole Ultimate Universe gel together. Now, the variant covers for this, again, I only really like the Dyke Ruan and the Mark Brooks. The Mark Brooks is so good, but Dyke, man, that guy is such a stud. He's such a great artist. The other covers are fine. The Betsy Cola one is okay. It's not like her normal vibe, but you know what? Get the Dyke Ruan, get the Mark Brooks, check this book out. Those are my 2 number 1s. And yeah, I'm just not overexcited, but I am excited. I'm excited to check out both of these books because they're Marvel books, they're new number 1s. Let's get some more energy, let's get some more buzz for Marvel, man, because they have sucked so bad over the last few years, and they're finally getting some love. So I'm excited. Are you guys excited? Let me know down in the comments below if you guys are excited for either of these new number 1s. All right, guys. Those are new number 1s. So let's go ahead and check out the top 3 books that I think you guys have to be reading this week because the stories are so freaking good. All right, guys, something fun to let you know about the top 3 this week that, you know, I don't know if it's ever happened before. Every single book on the top 3 list this week is an independent title, guys. Indies are just crushing it this week. The big 2 could not crack my top 3 this week. The indies were just too good. And guys, the book that's in the number 3 spot is Crave issue number 4. Now, this is coming from the writer and artist of Maria Lovelet. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. But guys, this book is a very spicy, a very sexually charged story, but it all revolves around an app. And you know, we all have phones, and how many apps do we have on our phones? I have way too many. And people, you know, can become addicted to these apps. My kids, you know, love TikTok way too much, and we've had to like limit them to like an hour a day because they would spend all day on TikTok. And this app called Crave is like infected or has infected a college campus. And what Crave does is you put what you are craving into the app and it tells you how to get it. And it actually works. It actually works. And since it's on a college campus and, you know, college kids are, you know, full of like really high levels of hormones because, you know, they're 18 to 24 years old, a lot of people crave sexual things. So there are lots of people having sex with each other. And in issue number 3, people are starting to notice that, you know, girlfriends and boyfriends are cheating on each other and there are fights breaking out everywhere. The chaos is just like overwhelming the campus. But our main characters of David, Alexandria, Albert, and Sophia are contacted by the creator of their app, their good friend Kai, and he tells them, guys, you gotta get off campus and get on a landline or call me on a landline and I'll tell you how we can bring down the Crave app because he knows it's doing terrible things. And that is really cool. And there's something terrible that happened at the end of issue number 3 that was like, what? So it's a really great book. Like I said, very sexually heavily charged right now. It's definitely an adults only book. There's no like hardcore sex in it or anything. You don't see like, you know, I don't know. It's not a porno, but there are a lot of boobs in it. And yeah, definitely not a book for kids, but I am loving this title. It is so good, especially that I can never see this actually happening because I don't think an app will ever be able to infect people like this app does. But with people's addictions to their phones, it's not too far off. It's not too far-fetched, I should say. But this book is great. It really is. And I love the fact that there is a writer-artist putting out something like this, and Maria Lovelet, great book. And she's doing all the variant covers too, and there's some really cool variant covers. All right, guys, that is the number 3 book. Let's go ahead and find out what the number 2 is. All right, guys, the number 2 book and the next independent on this list is Void Rivals, issue number 7. Now, this is coming from the amazing writer of Robert Kirkman and has art by Lorenzo De Felici. Guys, this story is amazing. Now, I hear other people talk about the Energon universe, and they always leave out Void Rivals. They're always talking about Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Cobra Commander. But guys, Void Rivals is part of this universe, and it is so stinking good. The only thing is that this is set off way off into the universe on distant planets where the Transformers are from. But we are following two races, basically, that hate each other. Two planets. They have been at war forever. And two people get caught on a planet one from each planet, and then they have to work together to get off the planet, and their relationship is really stinking cool. Because one guy from one planet, his name is Draka, is fully in to working together. But the other girl, Solia, is, very hesitant. And she's very still stuck in the ways of her planet. And she helps them get off the planet. But guess what? She backstabs Draka. Why, Solia? Why would you do such a thing? And they get, captured on her planet. That's right. Because the government's like, you know what? I know you're a traitor. I know you worked with them. But then there's a whole underground movement that frees them. And now they're on the run. And it is so cool. I just love this relationship that Draka, the guy from the other planet, I forgot what the name of the two alien races are. It doesn't really matter. They're just people that hate each other for no stinking reason because they find out that they're so much alike. And it's so cool. And I love all the Easter eggs that Robert Kirkman is putting in the books that are reminding you that this is a Transformer book. This is part of the Energon universe. It is so, so cool. And I just really, really enjoyed the relationship between Draka and Solia. I know Solia is going to turn around at some point, and she's going to help Draka. And, maybe they'll fall in love because one is a boy and one is a girl. Draka is a boy and Solia is a girl. And I feel like there's going to be a love story there. And I cannot wait because there is a big twist that we can see if you're reading the book. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys, but I cannot wait to see when that is going to come to fruition. What's going to happen? I don't know. But this book is so, so good. The artwork is good. The writing is good. There are some pretty good variant covers for this issue. I don't love the cover B, but the 1 in 10 is pretty good. The 1 in 25 is really good. I like the pink in the background. And the 1 in 50 is okay. But I really like that 1 in 25 and the 1 in 10. All right, guys, that is the number 2 book. Let's go ahead and find out what independent title is sitting in the number 1 spot. All right, guys, the number 1 book is a book that is filled with mystery, love, laughter, everything you need in a really good comic book. This is the only comic book that actually gave me chuckles when I was reading the book. I laughed out loud 4 or 5 times. It was really good. It hit home. It is such a great book. And guys, I am talking about Pine in Merrimack, issue number 3. Now, this is coming from the writer of Kyle Starks, and it has amazing, amazing stinking art from Fran Galan. But this story is so, so good. A great way to describe it, I think, is if you've watched the TV show Reacher. It has that kind of feel, but if you split up Reacher into 2 separate characters, one being the badass MMA guy named Parker, and then the detective person being the woman Leanna, that is basically what this show is. You got funny moments, you get action, you got a love story because these two truly, truly love each other, and it is just so, so good. So this story, if you haven't read this story yet, and I highly suggest you guys pick up this book because it is so good. Follows a detective agency run by Leanna. She is the main detective, and her husband Parker, who is a badass MMA person, and they run the agency. And they normally do small crime stuff, they go investigate people who are sleeping around on each other and help one person prove that this person is cheating on them. But then something falls into their lap, a much bigger case, a missing child case. You learn at the beginning of issue number 1 that Leanna, her sister had disappeared or was kidnapped and then was found dead. And so that's why she became a cop and then became a detective in the future, was to hopefully help stop that kind of crime. And they normally don't take it because they don't want to get involved in that stuff because they know that's a lot. But they can't pass this one up. And then they get involved. And obviously when you get involved with kidnapping and stuff, sometimes it can be a much bigger event. And that's what this is. That is totally what this is. They are getting involved in something really big, bigger than them. And are they going to be able to take this down? I don't know. But it is so, so good. The artwork by Frangalon is like out of this world, so, so good. It fits his story so perfectly. And like I said, there are some really, really good humor moments in this. It's not too heavy. Kyle Starks, man. I've read some stuff from him in the past and I never really jived and loved it all that much. But this story right here, Kyle, man, this is like, I don't know. Again, I haven't read everything you read, but in my opinion, for what I have read from you, this is your best. This is so good. So good. And teamed up with Frangalon, this is like the best. Now, hopefully I did a good job explaining that to you guys. I really do, because I hopefully convince some of you who are not reading this book to go down and pick this up, because it really is that good. Now, the variant covers for this issue aren't the best. I liked the variant covers for issue number 2 and issue number 1 a little bit better, but there is a cover B, which is okay. The cover C, which is a 1:10 ratio variant, it's just the version of the cover A, and there is a Jorge Corona 1:25 ratio variant, which is pretty decent. I love Jorge Corona. I think he's a great artist, but to me, it doesn't really fit the vibe of this book all that well. But yeah, this book, hands down, #1 of the week. And yeah, it was definitely better than all the books on my pull list this week. All right, guys, that was the #1 book. We've covered the cover lever picks. We did the new #1s. We did the top 3 list. Now let's go over and cover the rest of the books on my pull list. And the not top 3, but the books you gotta see. All right, guys, we're going to cover the rest of the books on my pull list really quickly. I'm going to give you little nuggets on why the book is either really good or just okay. So first up is The Avengers, issue number 11, written by Jed MacKay, and this book is just okay. I want it to be great because I love Jed MacKay. His freaking Moon Knight book is so good, and Doctor Strange is also a great title, but this one is just, I don't know, it's just okay. If it doesn't get better soon, I'll probably end up cutting it, but knowing me, I'll probably just keep collecting it. But guys, next up is Batman issue number 145. 145, we're getting back to the main story of Failsafe and Batman Zur-En-Ah, or whatever the hell it is. Batman's alter ego, which then transfers his self over into Failsafe. And now Batman is like free from the Batman Zur-En-Ah, which is like this crazy version of himself, which he separated his mind into, which I know it's a lot. I'm like trying to go fast, and you guys are probably like, if you're not reading Batman, like, what the hell are you talking about? But finally back to this main story with Jorge Jimenez, and it's hopefully going to get really freaking good because the Batman Year 1 Joker stuff was, I don't know, it was okay. But guys, next up is Birds of Prey, issue number 7. We're going to get a new team of the Birds of Prey. I guess issue number 6 was the end of that team, and she's going to put together a different team to deal with a different issue, which could be pretty cool. Are we going to get like a new Birds of Prey team every 6 issues? I don't know. That could be cool. Next up is Blue Beetle, issue number 7. So good. Read this book. This book was the one book from the big 2 that could have made the top 3 list. This is an amazing freaking story, and this cover by Adrian Gutierrez is so good. And next up is Doctor Strange, issue number 13. One weird thing is when I read issue number 12, it felt like the start of a new arc. But in issue number 13, it's starting a new arc. So are they just going to come back to what happened in issue number 12 at some point? Because there was a big thing that happened in issue number 12 that they got to resolve. They just have to. And I'm not going to ruin it for you. But guys, read this book. It's Jed MacKay. It's Doctor Strange. It's so good. Guys, next up is Kaya, issue number 16. Wes Craig. Great story. I'm not going to be able to give you a synopsis of 15 issues of this amazing story. Pick up this book. It's written and drawn by Wes Craig. It's a fantastic read. Next up, Poison Ivy, issue number 20. This book continues just to be a super solid ongoing series featuring a villain from the DC Universe. Maybe she's like an anti-villain or whatever. It's not anti-hero. Yeah, anti-hero. That's what it is. Because she does good things and bad things all at the same time, just like Deadpool. But this story arc right now is dealing with her origin story of becoming Poison Ivy, and it's pretty good. Next up, Red Light, issue number 3. I read issue number 2 this weekend, and it was really good. This is a fantastic indie title. It is set off in a dystopian future where AI sex workers are a thing, and it's super cool. It's super cool. Check out this book. Next up is The Sensational She-Hulk, issue number 6. This awesome cover A done by Jen Bartel is so good, and this story is just what Chris from Lost in Comics would say, a palate cleanser. It is just a super fun popcorn book. I love it. And I just love seeing a title that can like deal with superheroes in relationships and the struggle of being a superhero in this world. It's not easy. It's all not smash and grab. And that's what this book is. It's dealing with, you know, relationships and how, as a superhero, it can be hard to have friends and all this other stuff. It is so good. Guys, next up is Shazam, issue number 9. Fantastic story. Very, again, popcorn, palate cleanser type book. Fantastic. I love this book. Written by Mark Waid. It deals with Shazam. He's a kid inside, and his family around him is fantastic. And I don't know. It's a fantastic story. Super lighthearted. Read with your kids. Great, great book. And that's it. Because everything else was either a new number 1 or on the top 3 list. Guys, that is the not top 3, but the books you gotta see. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up and find out who won last week's giveaway. Alright guys, we are at the end of the video, and this is my moment to thank every single one of you who are still watching this video right now and say, you guys are legends. You guys are so freaking the best. You guys are the best. You are the key supporters of this channel, and I thank you guys so much. Now, if you guys can do me a favor, look down real quick. If you guys have not hit that like button just yet, even though I asked you earlier in the video, but if you haven't, do me a favor and smash that like button. Now, if you guys are new to the channel or new to this video series and you guys can look down and you guys are not subscribed, I just gotta say, what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. All right, guys, let's go ahead and cut up close and find out who won last week's giveaway. Alright guys, you know how we do this. First things first, we go to last week's video. We're going to go ahead and hit pause so that way you guys don't have to listen to me. But we copy and then we go over to here. We paste the URL from last week's video. We go ahead and hit fetch. Not anything goes. We're going to hit the word keyword filter, and that's going to be hashtag I love comic books. That's all you had to do to get an entry into last week's video is leave a comment with the hashtag I love comic books. We're going to go ahead and hit fetch. We're going to see how many people did that. 49 of you have an entry into this week's giveaway. And guys, I went out to my sister's this past weekend. I went to her local comic book shop. It is so stinking good. Such a great shop. And I picked up a bunch of new books for giveaway. So whoever wins this week's giveaway, I will have books to ship out to you hopefully this week if I have the time. But let's go ahead and find out who won last week's giveaway in 3, 2, 1. And the winner is JDDB. LH, I don't know how to say that, but you left the hashtag love the enthusiasm, hashtag I love comic books. Congratulations, JDDBLH. You won last week's giveaway. Now, what I need you to do is to go over to Instagram, slide into our DMs, and give us your address. Our handle is right here in case you need it. And yeah, just give us your address and I will get your book shipped out to you in a few weeks' time. Hopefully this week, but I might need a week or two to get them out to you. Now, if you guys are interested into entering next week's giveaway, these are the 4 things that you have to do. Number 1, you need to live in the United States of America. Number 2, you need to be subscribed to the channel. Number 3, you need to leave a comment on this video right here. And number 4, it needs to have the hashtag I love comic books. And that's all you need to do to get an entry into this week's giveaway. Now, I will have one more video this week. It will be my final order cutoff speculation and recommendations video, but I hope to have a third. It will either be a product showcase video, but I need to do a little bit more research before I start putting those videos out because the rest of the stuff is not just like, you know, show you guys. I gotta do some comparisons before I can actually put those videos together. So it might just be a haul video because I got a lot of books I picked up in January and February to show off to you guys. So that's that. Definitely 2 videos this week, but hopefully 3. All right, guys, have yourself a great new comic book day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.